You're listening to the Fitzy and Whipper podcast.
Last night it kicked off. Actually, I really got into this. It's the Real Love Boat, and you can catch it 7:30 on Channel 10. And the host joins us now, Darren McMullen. Welcome.
Darren, welcome, buddy.
Hello.
I suppose the question is, did you find love? I've completely
I did. You know, you've
misunderstood.
got to learn to love yourself before you can welcome anyone else into your life. And I'm not quite there
A
yet.
TV show about self-love with you would be really interesting.
What a disaster! I do give the absolute worst advice ever when it comes to dating. So it's amazing how many people ask me that all the time. Like, what would I know?
Oh, you've had a few broken hearts in your time as well, and you kick off the show last night. I love this, that even one person didn't even get onto the boat, Darren. Poor Ben didn't even make it onto the boat.
Didn't even make it onto the boat. We flew them all the way over to Barcelona. They're all excited about jumping on the love boat, and I break the news within minutes. I'm like, listen, there's not enough tickets for everyone. Someone's got to go right now. We're going to decide this by some old-fashioned speed dating. And old Benny boy was straight back on the plane to Australia. No, actually, I do tell a lie.
Yeah.
So we shot in this big mansion that you see in the show, and there was a couple of old birds that owned the mansion. They were like Eddie and Patsy from Ab Fab, and they're getting sloshed on rosé the entire time and heckling from the balcony. And they're like,
Awesome.
I can't believe you got rid of that guy. He was the sexiest by far. And they basically asked him to stay the night with them in the mansion, and I believe he did before getting the plane the next day back home. So it wasn't all bad for Ben.
Oh, but the sad part about that is, and it's great that you can tell that story, is because when Benny got home and everyone laughs at him because he's home so soon, he goes, no. Wait till I tell you about Patsy and the other girl.
I hit the jackpot.
Oh, my God, night of his life.
Oh, God, he had a ball, I'm sure.
Let's get him on.
I do love that the first episode's always the best, because we as viewers get to make our first impressions, Darren.
Yeah.
And look, we need to talk about Dalton.
Dalton.
The personal trainer who loves a bit of Dalton. Dalton loves a bit of Dalton. I think if there was a dating show where you could date yourself,
Dalton would be ready to go.
Be the man. I mean, this is what Australians do, don't they? I mean, we make our first impressions and we work people out in half an hour of a show.
Yeah, it's he said. Well, we were talking about self-love before, and if you really do need that self-love to find a partner, it's amazing that people aren't banging down his door, because he's got self-love in spades. That's for sure.
What is he really like, though?
He is what he says on the tin. He is what he says on the tin. And it, actually, you know, you say the first episode is the best, but I've voiced most of the eps now, and I've got to be honest, it really kicks off around 5 or 6. So please make it through Australia, because it really gets good. And Dalton is at the midst of most of the drama that unfolds throughout the series. So.
You know, there's nowhere you can run either. I mean, if you're there, the options are in front of you too. You're on a boat. And the great thing about a boat is it always feels exciting, and if you feel like your mood needs to lift. So the minute there's drama involved, it almost doesn't fit. It doesn't fit with the fun time you're meant to be having.
It was great, but what a lot of people didn't realise, they thought we kind of rented out this cruise ship, but it was actually a working cruise ship with 3,500 people on board. Not all happy to see us, I must admit.
So where do you started in Barcelona? This is unbelievable. I thought you just would have been going over to Fiji or something. Where else do you go, Darren?
So we go to Barcelona, Gibraltar. I was attacked by a rabid monkey there.
Oh,
that was fun. And
which you had a relationship with.
Trying to find love.
and that's where the monkeypox came back to Australia, thanks to me. Sorry about that.
I can see it there on your lip.
So then we go to Marseille, and then down the coast of Italy, Greek islands, Turkey.
Dude,
it was a terrible
job.
time.
Sorry to hear about your dog as well, buddy. That was we read about that in the paper yesterday. That was around the same time that all happened.
It was. Yeah, it happened on board, actually. I got a phone call, many phone calls from my mum, and I woke up to that, and the Wi-Fi was sketchy at the time because we were at sea, and essentially we'd found out that the cancer came back.
That would have knocked you for 6.
Yeah, it was tough. It was really, really tough, and it was kind of towards the finale, and it was on a big shoot day, but you know, you just had to. I mean, the crew were really, really good. They were mostly dog people, which was great, so they kind of understood
Yeah,
what
they
I was
got
going
it.
through. They got it, and they're like, look, take an hour or two, and we'll stand everyone by and just come out when you can. I was like, just get the scotch ready. I don't want anyone to ask me if I'm okay. Nobody hug me, and tomorrow I'll have a breakdown, but today I'll get through it. The show must go on.
So, are you in love at the moment, mate? I mean, if you're talking about, there's contestants on the show, but if you've got a whole ship full of other people.
You've been with Dalton for 6 months, or what's happened since filming?
Did your eye sort of wander to the rest of the ship?
Well, I did. I mean, most of the people there, as I say, are on their 40th, 50th wedding anniversary, mate. So,
What did you go back to Patsy in the car?
They're a little out of my demographic, to be fair. Who knows? Maybe if we do a season 2 around Australia or the Caribbean, maybe they'll be more age appropriate.
So it's The Real Love Boat. You can catch it. He's back again tonight. Episode 2, 7:30 on Channel 10. Darren McMullen, always a pleasure, legend. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Darren McMullen.
You're listening to the Fitzy and Whipper podcast.